a lot, yeah, a lot of them have already like reversed their diabetes, and few of them are working towards it. And today I'm here to take up this community webinar session. So here I will be talking about ketogenic diet, which is like low carbohydrate, high fat diet. But there are a lot of other things to look into it when we talk about this. So before we begin, a small like fun quiz for you all, just to like get a little bit of like warm up. So yeah, you have to find out the hidden words on the screen. I am going to present a screen. Yeah. So can you just find out what are the words you can see? Put it on the chat window so that I'll be able to see as well. Yeah. Okay. Onion. Okay, great. Pasta, spa. Amazing. Nice. Pepper, potato, garlic. Yeah, a lot of food names. Lemon. Yes. Interesting. Few more. There is coriander, if you can find. Okay, fish, mint, pepper. Yeah, a lot of like easy words are coming out. Okay, broccoli, potato, chapati. Yes, close. Yeah, I want everybody to take part. Put in a little mind to this. See what are the words you can find. Just a tickle to your brain. Strawberry, cinnamon. Yes. मैं सेशन में हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों बात कर सकती हूँ, तो हम आज कीटोजेनिक डाइट के बारे में बात करेंगे। उससे पहले ये स्मॉल स्क्रिबल है। आई वांट यू all to like find out what are the hidden words. Great. Avocado, yes. Tomato, pepper, salt. Yeah. Yeah. Cashew. Okay. So let me share the next slide so that you get to see. Sorry, I really cannot speak Telugu, but I can to an extent understand Telugu language. But Hindi or English में मैं बहुत comfortable हूँ. So whatever you would want to ask me in English or like you want to ask me in Hindi, you can please drop in your messages, and also Kannada. I can speak Kannada. Yeah. So if you would want to see the answers, you can see here coriander. A lot of people have mentioned clove, cinnamon, onion, nutmeg, tomato, pepper, cashew, potato, cumin, ginger, garlic, all of these things. Yes. So yeah, now we begin to understand like, okay, what is ketogenic diet? So मैं आपको बता रही थी कि ketogenic diet is nothing but a low carbohydrate and high fat diet. In fact, a lot of studies have been published to give us an information that this diet can help you lose weight and also kind of like helps you in improving overall your health. So they have a lot of benefits against diabetes, cancer, epilepsy, and Alzheimer's disease. So how are they being beneficial? Because a lot of times you might be hearing कि fat diet is not good. अगर आप कुछ भी फॉलो करेंगे, जैसे ये कम खाना है या फिर ये ज्यादा खाना है, ये नहीं खाना है, you would have come across through your coaches or through somebody else also that ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. On a long run, it is not being helpful. Definitely इसके own challenges रहेंगे ketogenic diet के बारे में. बट यहाँ पे लाइक सिंपल वे में मैं बताती हूँ कि कितना हम बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं इस डाइट को फॉलो करके. हाउ कैन वी गेट बेनिफिट आउट ऑफ दिस? सो इफ यू सी, हमारे बॉडी में नेचुरली क्या होता है, लाइक जनरली जो भी खाते हैं, इट ऑल एंड्स अप गिविंग अस एनर्जी. So most people's fuel source is glucose, comes primarily from carbohydrate section. So sugar burning mode. If you see all like हमें बैठने के लिए, सोने के लिए, खड़े होने के लिए, चलने के लिए, for all our basic activities, even for breathing, we need energy. And generally that energy comes from carbohydrate sources in our system. But इस लाइक मेथड में क्या होता है, कीटोजेनिक डाइट या फिर कीटोन्स क्या होता है, दे टेक अप द कार्बोहाइड्रेट सेक्शन, और जो शुगर बर्निंग मोड ग्लूकोज की जगह यहाँ पे फैट ले लेता है. तो alternate fuel source is fat which is present in our body. Like for example, if you are remaining hungry for a long period of time, अगर बहुत एक पूरा दिन आपने कुछ नहीं खाया है फिर भी आप सब कुछ कर पा रहे हैं, कैसे? Because our body always has kind of like stored energy which is called as fat. So fat burning mode में जब बॉडी जाता है तब बॉडी बहुत सारे कीटोन्स प्रोड्यूस करता है. So there are a lot of tests to understand कि हमारा बॉडी कीटोन्स कब प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है और कितना प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है. So this is the state we call like ketogenic diet में कीटोन्स जब बॉडी प्रोड्यूस करता है या फिर एनर्जी के लिए कीटोन्स यूटिलाइज हो रहे हैं, फैट यूटिलाइज हो रहा है, तो उसको हम फैट बर्निंग मोड करके बोलते हैं. So in a simple term, in a simple terminology or explanation अगर मैं बोलूं, तो कार्बोहाइड्रेट इनटेक डिक्रीजेस वाया कीटो डाइटिंग और फास्टिंग इंक्रीजेस. जब हम कार्बोहाइड्रेट इंटेंशनली कम खाते हैं या फिर नहीं खाते हैं क्योंकि हमें कीटोन फॉर्म करना है या फिर फैट को बर्न करना है, तो बॉडी में क्या होता है, कीटोसिस करके एक प्रोसेस ये एक्टिवेट हो जाता है. ये क्या है प्रोसेस अगर आप पूछेंगे, तो जब हमारा कार्बोहाइड्रेट इंटेक कम होता है या फिर आप फास्ट कर रहे हो या फिर आप कीटो डाइट फॉर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम फॉलो कर रहे हैं, तो ब्लड ग्लूकोज और इंसुलिन दोनों की कमी होती है बॉडी में. सो द रिस्क ऑफ हाइपोग्लाइसीमिया इज ऑलवेज देयर इन कीटोजेनिक डाइट, आप अगर लॉन्ग टर्म में फॉलो करेंगे तो, क्योंकि ब्लड ग्लूकोज बहुत कम होता है, बॉडी का लाइक कार्बोहाइड्रेट सोर्स कम है, कार्बोहाइड्रेट इंटेक कम है, तो एनर्जी भी कम है. सो वी नो ब्लड ग्लूकोज एंड इंसुलिन दोनों कम है हमारे बॉडी में. एंड देन फैट बर्निंग इंक्रीजेस वाया स्टोर्ड और कंज्यूम्ड फैट. हम ज्यादा देर भूखे रहेंगे, then what happens, body automatically starts to break down the fat which is already stored in the system. नहीं, अगर हम फास्टिंग नहीं है but we are following a ketogenic diet where we are eating a lot of carbohydrate, I mean lot of fat and less of carbohydrate, that's when fat burning starts or the consumed fat is utilized for energy. और उसके अकॉर्डिंगली क्या होता है, द लिवर विच इज प्रेजेंट इन आवर सिस्टम स्टार्ट्स टू ब्रेक डाउन फैट टू फॉर्म कीटोन्स. तो फैट को ब्रेक डाउन करना शुरू करता है, वेर एवर फैट इज बीन स्टोर्ड इन आवर सिस्टम इट स्टार्ट्स ब्रेकिंग डाउन एंड फॉर्म्स कीटोन्स, क्योंकि फैट का लाइक एंड प्रोडक्ट होता है कीटोन्स. देन कीटोन्स आर रिलीज्ड इनटू द ब्लड स्ट्रीम. कीटोन्स ट्रैवल टू द ब्रेन फॉर एनर्जी. तो हम लोगों को एनर्जी चाहिए तो ग्लूकोज वाज गिविंग अदरवाइज जनरल नॉर्मल प्रोसेस में. तो यहाँ पे कीटोन्स कैसे आ रहे हैं, सो दिस इज द मैकेनिज्म. सो कार्बोहाइड्रेट कंजम्पशन को कम करना या फिर फास्टिंग में रहना, देन ब्लड ग्लूकोज और इंसुलिन लेवल्स लोअर हो जाते हैं बॉडी में, स्टोर्ड फैट या फिर कंज्यूम्ड फैट यूटिलाइज होना शुरू होता है एनर्जी के लिए. Then the liver breaks down like fat to ketones and the ketones are released. Bloodstream में आ जाते हैं ketones और brain use करना शुरू करता है for energy levels. So this is a kind of like cycle where ketosis happens. Again ketogenic diet के दो variation है, 1 and 2. ये क्या है, what is the difference of 1 and 2? मैंने बताया पहले आपको स्लाइड्स में कि कीटोजेनिक डाइट के बेनिफिट्स हैं. There is a lot of it which is proven. Ketogenic diets may have benefit against diabetes, cancer, epilepsy and Alzheimer's disease. तो अगर वो बेनिफिट हमें देखना है, स्पेशली epilepsy में, you would have seen a lot of people or doctors themselves are saying कि you please follow ketogenic diet. क्यों बोलते हैं? क्योंकि epilepsy में the only source of treatment is medication. अगर मेडिकेशन सही से काम नहीं कर रहा है, रेस्पॉन्स नहीं दे रहा है, then the only go is ketogenic diet. वहां पे क्या होता है, standard ketogenic diet needs to be followed, जहां पे 75% of our energy is coming from fat sources. They have their own side effects. I will come to that. बताती हूँ इसके कॉन्स क्या है, मतलब not so beneficial properties कौन से हैं. But generally like traditionally ketogenic diet मतलब 75% fat होना चाहिए, 20% प्रोटीन रहेगा. अगेन प्रोटीन सोर्सेस वी हैव टू बी वेरी केयरफुल, लार्जली इट्स एनिमल फूड क्योंकि उसमें फैट कंटेंट ज्यादा रहता है. प्लांट फूड अगर हम बात करें तो प्लांट फूड अगर इंटेक ज्यादा है तो उसमें हमें कार्बोहाइड्रेट भी मिल जाएगा, तो इसलिए वी हैव टू बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक कि जो प्रोटीन सोर्सेस हैं वो जैसे द ऑप्शंस शुड बी विच आर लार्जली हाई ऑन फैट एंड द कार्बोहाइड्रेट कंटेंट इफ यू सी 5%। ऑलरेडी जब हम डायबिटीज प्लेट मेथड के बारे में बात करते हैं तो वी से कि 20 और 25% कार्बोहाइड्रेट खाना चाहिए, विच इज ऑलरेडी अ चैलेंज फॉर लॉट ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन, क्योंकि हम इंडियंस क्या करते हैं ज्यादातर आर फूड वी आर टेकिंग इन फ्रॉम कार्बोहाइड्रेट सोर्सेस, बट यहाँ ट्रेडिशनल कीटोजेनिक डाइट में 5% कार्बोहाइड्रेट विच इज बेयर मिनिमम। आप रोटी, चावल, दूध ये सब बिल्कुल हरगिज नहीं ले सकते, एंड वेजिटेबल्स और फ्रूट्स में भी देर आर लॉट ऑफ रेस्ट्रिक्शंस व्हिच कम्स इनटू पिक्चर। बट देन द ketogenic keto diet which can be like altered a little bit and followed so that it kind of like benefits us for a short period of time। हमें थोड़े दिनों के लिए, थोड़े महीनों के लिए फॉलो करना है। बहुत ज्यादा डायबिटीज हो गया है, आई डू नॉट वांट टू इंक्रीज मेडिकेशन और आई वांट टू टेक अप लाइक some kind of therapy which helps for a short period of time, I can bring down my sugar levels to safe range, उसके बाद में मैं regular diet में चले जाऊँ। तो a little varied form of ketogenic diet which is called 2.0, यहाँ पे हम क्या करते हैं, फैट को 50% रखते हैं, प्रोटीन को 30% रखते हैं, बिकॉज वी डेफिनेटली नो द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ प्रोटीन। हमारे मसल्स को रिपेयर करने के लिए, डेली एनर्जी के लिए वी डेफिनेटली नीड गुड अमाउंट ऑफ प्रोटीन कंटेंट। तो 30% प्रोटीन, 50% फैट, एंड वी कीप द कार्बोहाइड्रेट कंजम्पशन टू 20%। अगेन ये कार्बोहाइड्रेट अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं 20% है, देन वी शुड बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक दैट इट हैज टू कम फ्रॉम हेल्दी सोर्सेस। होल ग्रेन से आना चाहिए या फिर वेजिटेबल पोर्शन से आना चाहिए, बट डेफिनेटली नॉट फ्रॉम सिंपल कार्बोहाइड्रेट लाइक मीठा, मिठाई, दूध, फ्रूट, इन सब चीजों को बहुत मिनिमाइज करना है। सो इफ यू सी द 1.0 का जो पिरामिड है, यू सी हियर अ लॉट ऑफ लाइक एनिमल फूड, हाई फैट्स लाइक मीट, श्रिम्प, एग्स, ऑयस्टर्स, फिश, जो फैट कंटेंट ज्यादा होता है वैसे वाले सोर्सेस ऑफ प्रोटीन यू शुड बी इंक्लूडिंग, विच इज 20 to 30%। 70 to 80% इज फैट। आपके नट्स एंड सीड्स, चीज हो गया, अवोकाडोस हो गया, या फिर बटर्स हो गए, या फिर डेयरी हो गया, एंड कुकिंग ऑयल्स, ऑल दिस caters to 70 to 80% of fat। एंड देन वी टॉक अबाउट वेजिटेबल पोर्शन। सो इफ वेजिटेबल पोर्शन में अगर आप देखें तो ओनली 5 to 10%। तो आपका कार्बोहाइड्रेट कंटेंट जो आ रहा है वो वेजिटेबल सोर्स से आ रहा है, but again vegetable के choices you are being very specific, they have to be the least amount of carbohydrate content vegetables। so largely cruciferous family vegetables जो cabbage है, cauliflower है, broccoli है, bell peppers like capsicum है, जो yellow capsicum, red capsicum, green capsicum, या फिर cucumber या फिर tomatoes, these are the vegetables which we are focusing towards। स्टार्ची वेजिटेबल्स पे हम जा ही नहीं सकते क्योंकि दैट कम्स विद अ लॉट ऑफ लाइक कार्बोहाइड्रेट पोर्शन। तो 2.0 में हम देख रहे हैं there is a little more variety of food comes into picture, because we know that carbohydrate section is at least 20%, protein is 30%, and then fat is 50%। so what do we include? Again the sources kind of like remains the same, just the addition of variety comes into picture a little more। so if you see in vegetables, there is gourd variety of vegetable, there is leafy vegetables, there is carrot and radish which can come into picture, onions and tomatoes can come into picture, garlic, beetroot, these are all the vegetables which we can use while we are following keto 2.0। so what are the pros and cons of like ketogenic diet? ये बहुत important है हम लोगों को समझने के लिए। इसके benefits क्या है? We definitely can see quick weight loss। कैसे होता है ये quick weight loss? I did explain, आपको समझाया कि what is the mechanism which kind of like changes carbohydrate, where our body is using as a direct source of energy, is being converted to or forced to use fat as energy। so उसके वजह से you see fat is breaking down in our system very quickly and quick weight loss is coming into picture। But the negative side of it is it's not sustainable. अगर आप बोलेंगे कि मैं लाइफ लॉन्ग यही मेंटेन करूंगी, it is not possible because it is not practically sustainable on a long run to restrict so many things and to follow a specific kind of diet for a long period of time. Same monotony हो जाता है. How many days will you be able to eat the same thing? You will not be. You will be bored very soon. Might be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. उसके बाद you would want to eat something which you have always been eating, which might not be very, very like pro towards your ketogenic diet which you follow. And then, especially in diabetes patients, we see improved insulin resistance. जो आपके सेल्स बहुत स्टबर्न हो गए हैं इंसुलिन को लेके, there is insulin in the body, but then cells are not utilizing it. So this kind of like improves. Insulin becomes very sensitive. क्योंकि too much of insulin body is not forcing to produce क्योंकि आप कार्बोहाइड्रेट को लिमिट कर रहे हो. So whatever insulin is there, it becomes more sensitive towards your cells. And the negative side of it is risk of hypoglycemia. क्योंकि इंसुलिन सेंसिटिव है, our body has enough insulin, but then we are not giving enough glucose for energy, but rather we are giving fat for energy. तो इसके वजह से शुगर्स ग्लूकोज लेवल बहुत लो जाने के चांसेस होते हैं. So it's very important when you are following certain kind of diet, we have to closely monitor just to understand के रिस्क कितना है और हम कैसे उसको अवॉइड कर सकते हैं. Potentially better food choices like benefits में मतलब high quality fat or high protein rich food you will be including, but then they have the negative side of it as well क्योंकि we are forgetting or we are not prioritizing the basic food inclusions. That is, then we end up having nutrient deficiencies. So a lot of vitamins, minerals, ये सब हमको किससे मिल रहा है? We eat regular basis में जो vegetables, fruits in smaller portions, उससे हमको बहुत ज्यादा vitamins और minerals मिलते हैं, which are kind of like important for many of the actions in the system, but also to keep our energy levels higher. So वहां पे नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट कीटोजेनिक फॉलो करने का ये भी हो सकता है कि वी एंड अप इन लॉट ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट डिफिशियंसीज. एंड देन पॉजिटिव साइड में यू सी मील सेटिस्फैक्शन. हाउ डज दिस कम मील सेटिस्फैक्शन? Because of high fat, because of good amount of protein you are eating, you feel satiated for a long period of time. बहुत जल्दी भूख नहीं लगती है, थोड़ा सा खाने पे you feel fuller. With smaller portion of food, you feel like, okay, I'm satisfied, I'm full, I do not want to eat more. But then the negative aspect is you can become very obsessive with the food. You are so particular कि मुझे ये नहीं खाना है, मुझे सिर्फ ये ही चाहिए. So the food intake can become an obsession, which is really a not good relationship to have with food. And positive side अगर हम देखें तो it is a treatment for health conditions, especially health conditions के बारे में बात करेंगे. Then I think epilepsy, I told you, this is one of the example. And many other health conditions can be treated with Alzheimer's disease, and all of these things can be treated with ketogenic diet, but it has to be followed in a proper manner. But then the negative side of it, just for weight loss या फिर fancy like variety करने के लिए अगर हम follow कर रहे हैं and we are being very specific about 1 point वो अगर हम follow करना चाहेंगे, then there is a lot of impact on heart and kidney health. So why is it impacting on heart? Definitely अगर आप इतना ज्यादा fat खाओगे, then your lipid parameters, your heart is at risk. And how is it impacting on your kidney health? अगर आप हाई फैट ले रहे हैं या फिर प्रोटीन क्वालिटी, प्रोटीन कंटेंट जो हाई बायोलॉजिकल वैल्यू है इतना ज्यादा खा रहे हैं, then definitely that puts a lot of pressure on your kidneys. So we have to be very particular हम कितना proportion में खा रहे हैं. How much is the carbohydrate, how much is the protein? अगर हम protein 30% ले रहे हैं, what are the choices of protein rich food which we are including and how much we are eating at once? So that we are balancing everywhere and we are thinking of like positive outcome and we are working towards it. So can you all tell me like on the chat, which one is a keto dish here? So I'll tell you what are these. So basically this is poha, this is quinoa pulao with vegetables, and this is cauliflower rice pulao. So which one you think is a keto dish? I'm sure everybody would have come across these things. So tell me on the chat. I already see certain messages coming in, pouring in. Okay, let me just see. Okay, C, C. Okay. A lot of them are saying B as well and C as well. Let me tell you, the answer is C. Cauliflower rice is the right answer because I told you cauliflower comes under keto-friendly vegetable. It doesn't have too much of starch in it. Cruciferous family vegetable. Quinoa is again a pseudo grain. So grain से हम लोगों को ज्यादा carbohydrate मिलता है. पोहा definitely is a whole grain. I mean rice product. तो उससे बहुत ज्यादा carbohydrate होता है. So now let's just look into what is cauliflower rice. Right? I'm playing this video. I hope everybody can hear this message and tell me if you can hear this. How to make cauliflower rice? A quick video.
Cauliflower rice is a healthy, low carb alternative to regular rice. And what I love about it is that you can use it the same way. Just toss some raw cauliflower into a food processor and pulse. Then saute it for a few minutes in some oil and season with salt and pepper. Enjoy. Cauliflower rice is a healthy, low carb alternative to regular rice. And what I love about it is that you can use it the same way. Just toss some raw cauliflower into a food processor and pulse. Then saute it for a few minutes in some oil and season with salt and pepper.
I hope everybody understood कि cauliflower rice को कैसे बनाना है. Let me just explain to you. Cauliflower को छोटा छोटा piece करके we chop it and we put it in a mixer or a grinder. Just like grind it very coarsely and then saute it with very little amount of oil and add a little bit of salt and pepper. So you can use this. हम इसको normal rice जो हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं ना वैसे use कर सकते हैं. Like with dal you can have. You can make sabzi and you can eat it along with it. Or you can make even rotis out of it. Like हाथ में बना के आप खा सकते हैं. Then there are a lot of recipes if you find it. I mean, on your SugarFit app also, you will see there are n number of recipes with cauliflower rice. So you can see here in the picture, like pulao bana sakte hain. Like curd rice, you can just give tadka to it and you can have. You can make biryani out of it as well. So it's just that cauliflower rice ko sab masala sab kuch banane ke baad end mein we have to include it with either you are non-vegetarian, so you can eat it with chicken, or you can eat it with eggs, or you can eat it with soya, or paneer, or tofu. These kind of things you can add, and you can make biryani out of it. So just plain tadka deke, you can eat like a lemon rice. You can make coconut rice as well. So all of these are very simple recipes which you can try with cauliflower rice. It's a very like low carbohydrate and low calorie option which you can include on regular basis. And one more is almond flour roti. This is also a very like a nice addition if you are following a ketogenic diet or a keto diet for weight loss or for like any other purpose as well. So again यहाँ पे almonds जो बादाम है, you have to like grind them and you have to make it in a powder form or paste form and you mix it with water. You mix it like a dough, like roti dough, how you mix it like that. And then you press it and make rotis. It's not like very easy as you mix wheat flour or any other flour and you make rotis out of it. Thoda sa oil you can include along with it so that it kind of like gels well and it becomes a little softer. बहुत ज्यादा पानी नहीं डालना चाहिए. I'm playing this video. It's kind of like a little longer. But then very quick thing for you to understand if it comes 100 grams almond flour में आप 1 tablespoon घी या oil डाल के almost 1/8 cup of water and you can make it like a dough and you can prepare roti. Heat your oil that is. Then water. Mix it really well. You can also use hand to mix it so that there are no lumps which are formed. तो कंसिस्टेंसी, क्या कंसिस्टेंसी में दिखा रहे हैं? But the paper is well here rather than plastic. Just forwarding this since it's a lengthy process. Round banana, so you can put it on the tawa. Same, you can start cooking. Right? Adding any oil or heat to it, because it already has so much of fat in it. Yeah. So this is how almond cookies can be made. So again here ये एक simple like menu है keto diet if you are like wanting to follow कि क्या options हो सकते हैं like breakfast you can have egg omelette with vegetable or vegetable smoothie also you can make. So vegetable smoothie में again I think last week ही Sunday को smoothies का webinar था. I hope everybody like most of you have attended and you know कि कौन सा variety का smoothie हम बना सकते हैं. If you have like more queries on it, you can always like log into SugarFit app and under new like wellness section में अगर आप nutrition पे जाएंगे तो बहुत सारे smoothies के recipes मिलेंगे which you can kind of like follow to make any variety of smoothie. Especially it's like need of the hour क्योंकि summers में we usually don't have like high appetite to have like a very hot or elaborate breakfast. Something simple we will be satisfied with, or smoothies are something good to be included. Calories भी हम कम कर सकते हैं, especially for people who are trying to reduce weight. I think this is being very this will be very helpful. And then mid morning you can have guava with flax seeds as a snack. And then lunch में wheat gram roti जो मतलब व्हीट ग्राम या फिर मिलेट राइस का रोटी बना के ले सकते हैं या फिर कॉलीफ्लावर राइस विथ वेजिटेबल सब्जी एंड बटर मिल्क यू कैन हैव. Again here carbohydrate is coming in if it is wheat gram roti or millet roti or even cauliflower rice has very minimal carbohydrate in it. With lot of vegetable sabzi and buttermilk you can have. Buttermilk will also give you, since it's a milk product, it will also give you some amount of carbohydrate. And then evening mein as a snack you can have seed mixture, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds. Iska mixture bana ke you can make a cracker out of it, or you can make a you can just eat as it is like roasted ones or raw ones also with a cup of green tea. or any kind of like flavored, might be chamomile tea, might be hibiscus tea, these kind of teas you can have, or herbal, ginger chai, cinnamon water, these kind of things also can be doable, which will not increase the calorific value. And dinner में बेसन का चीला, जैसे I mean, besan chila or almond dosa, like almond flour ka roti. We just saw how it is being made. In a similar manner, if you add a little more like water into it and make like a batter, you can pour dosa on the pan and you can have that along with again coconut chutney or peanut chutney. And seed dosa also you can make, like mixed seeds, grind it with some kind of like spices and with chutney you can have it. This is a very simple like sample meal plan which you can follow. So that is it with regard to keto diet. So abhi time for like queries. Okay, so my voice was breaking or video ka voice, I think. I hope now you can all hear me well. So the PPT which I shared will be available on the YouTube channel of SugarFit. So all the recording of this session will be available. You can always go through. We will share the name of the YouTube channel on the chat here. Yeah, so voice is clear now. Okay. So can we have oats? Yes, oats you can have. See, generally अगर आप पूछ रहे हैं not about keto diet, अगर आप पूछ रहे हैं कि मैं diabetic हूँ, can I have oats? Then I would say definitely you can. ओट्स के अगेन डिफरेंट वेराइटीज आप बना सकते हैं. ओट्स का चीला, ओट्स का इडली, ओट्स का खिचड़ी, आप बहुत सारी चीज, ओट्स का पॉरिज बना के ले सकते हैं या फिर ओवरनाइट सोक्ड ओट्स ले सकते हैं ब्रेकफास्ट में. ऑल दीज आर फ्यू ऑफ द हेल्दियर लाइक ऑल्टरनेटिव्स फॉर योर कार्बोहाइड्रेट सेक्शन. Which fruit can I take? I mean, you're talking about keto diet में a lot of like berries are good. Avocado is supposed to be good. Berries क्यों मैं बोल रही हूँ? Like you can have kiwi, you can have strawberries, blueberries, ये सब, because they are the fruits which has least amount of calories in them. सूजी का चीला खा सकते हैं, सूजी का चीला खा सकते हैं बट नॉट फॉर कीटो डाइट. कीटो डाइट के लिए बेसन, क्योंकि उसमें प्रोटीन और फैट ज्यादा होता है, एंड आलमंड फ्लावर जो मैंने बताया वो, और आजकल कोकोनट फ्लावर भी मिलता है. सो विद दैट ऑल्सो यू कैन मेक रोटीज एंड यू कैन हैव. सोया फ्लावर से आप बना के ले सकते हैं, दैट इज ऑल्सो गुड. सो कैन वी ईट मैंगो और पाइनएप्पल? अगर आप कीटो डाइट में बोल रहे हैं देन डेफिनेटली नो, बिकॉज मैंगो हैज गुड अमाउंट ऑफ कैलोरीज इन देम, कार्बोहाइड्रेट कंटेंट थोड़ा ज्यादा होता है. सो जो भी क्वेरीज हैं आई एम आंसरिंग एज पर कीटो डाइट. अगर आप कीटो डाइट फॉलो कर रहे हैं देन डेफिनेटली देर आर रेस्ट्रिक्शंस विथ रिगार्ड टू वेजिटेबल्स एंड फ्रूट्स. वेजिटेबल्स पे ज्यादा ध्यान दीजिए, लीफी वेजिटेबल. आप पालक खा सकते हैं, स्पिनच खा सकते हैं, सेलेरी खा सकते हैं, बीन्स वेराइटी खा सकते हैं, गार्ड वेराइटी ऑफ वेजिटेबल ले सकते हैं, कैबेज, कॉलीफ्लावर इज डेफिनेटली गुड. ठीक है. अगर हम फ्रूट के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं देन ऑल द बेरीज आर गुड. Strawberries, blueberries, kiwi, pineapple to one extent okay, but still it gives you good amount of like fructose, simple carbohydrate in it. तो fruits को हम minimize करेंगे. Orange, musambi is also okay, but not like high carbohydrate rich fruits like banana, mango, jackfruit या फिर कोई भी other fruit which comes in like pear and all of those things has, compared to berries, slightly higher carbohydrate. But for diabetes, you can eat all the fruits until unless it is in limit with a small portion of nuts and seeds in between as a snack. So dry fruits, yes, dry fruits मतलब if you are talking about dried grapes, अगर आप ड्राइड खजूर के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं या फिर किशमिश के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं या फिर प्रून्स के बारे में, then definitely all that is carbohydrate. So we cannot include that on regular basis. Kabhi kabar a small piece of it if you would want to take it for your sweet craving, then that is okay. So other millets like ragi, parso, ये सब आप खा सकते हैं. The quantity has to be very minimal. Remember, 20% of your food should come from carbohydrates. Okay, not more than that. So if you are using millets, then it can be included in your lunch. Like one small roti, millet ka banaya hua, you can take. Coconut water is definitely not allowed because it has good amount of glucose content in it. So avoid coconut water. Chart. Okay. And what if you have potassium deficiency? Then a banana will help, or other fruit. So potassium deficiency, definitely banana is a very good source of potassium. But there are many other nuts and seeds and vegetables which will give you potassium as well. So if you are talking about keto diet, then you have to be very particular to potassium deficiency ho raha hai. So there might be many other reasons for potassium deficiency. Right? It can be impairment. Sometimes potassium thoda kam ho sakta hai. So you can correct it by drinking more water, including more variety of vegetables, including a lot of nuts and seeds in your daily diet. Keto diet chart मिलेगा. जो presentation मैंने आपसे share किया, that will be available. The recording will be available on YouTube channel. So it will be uploaded and it will be shared as well. The whole presentation का recording will be shared with you on the Warrior group. You can check and you can go through. अगर आपको specifically आपके height, weight, आपके condition के हिसाब से, आपके blood sugar values के हिसाब से diet चाहिए, please get in touch with your coach. All the coaches are aware about this, so they will give you a personalized meal plan where you are following a keto diet, where you will be able to reduce some amount of body weight. If you're really struggling, वजन कम ही नहीं हो रहा है कुछ भी करने से, then for a short period of time you can try keto diet. So as a Mrs. Neha is asking, as a diabetic, can I eat one potato with chickpea salad? You can definitely eat potato. Potato, remember, comes under carbohydrate section. अगर आपके प्लेट में 25% of the food is coming from carbohydrate, then the one potato which you eat is in that section. तो आप उस मील में दूसरा कुछ भी कार्बोहाइड्रेट नहीं ले सकते. You cannot eat rice, chapati, and then potato and everything in one plate because that is too much of carbohydrate. Ragi with oats combination allowed? Yeah, ragi and oats can be combined together and made it into dosa roti form. That's not a problem. Yeah, I will just add the YouTube link here. Just give me a moment. YouTube channel ka you want, right? Yeah. I'm just pasting here. In the chat section, link of our YouTube channel. You can all subscribe. But potato is not good for diabetic people. It's not that it is not good. It is just the carbohydrate. So eating too much of carbohydrate is not good for diabetic people. So please, Mr. Sandeep, get in touch. Potato, if at all you're including, you can have in a meal. So Mr. Pawan is asking, in keto diet, having cheat meal, any side effects on productivity? Definitely. See, we are kind of like changing the body's response. Brain is using fat for energy rather than carbohydrate or rather than glucose. So if you have a cheat meal in between, the whole process you're breaking. So if you break the process, the outcome is not going to be great and the side effects will be higher. So be very careful when you're following a specific kind of diet. And again, keto diet ऐसा नहीं कि आप 1.0 follow कर रहे हैं, where 5% only carbohydrate you're eating. You are including 20% of carbohydrate. So 20% of carbohydrate can be there. Like अगर आप बोल रहे हैं कि आपका cheat meal जो है, it does have very small portion of carbohydrate. let's not consider any meal as cheat meal. So get in touch with your coach. She will tell you like how to have a good relationship with food rather than feasting and fasting. So you have to get a mid ground where you have a very good relationship with food. So that is kind of like sustainable on a long run. It will be very helpful as well. So rice is again a whole grain. Rice flour is again a product from rice which we have been made. Mr. Nikhil, I think you are asking about rice flour. So you can use rice flour, but we cannot compare rice flour to almond flour. Why we are taking almond flour? क्योंकि almonds में बहुत ज़्यादा fat है and there is good amount of protein as well. अगर उसी तरीके से अगर हम देखें तो राइस फ्लावर में क्या है? There is carbohydrate. There is very minimal fat and there is very minimal or next to zero protein. Jawar and maize, yes, these are all variety of millets you can have, or you can always do this thing like millet या फिर rice अगर आपको करना ही करना है, then might be 20% of millet flour or rice flour you are including. Rest 80% is almond flour. Right? So that way also we can do. That's why I said it can be very individualistic. It can be molded into according to your requirement and your habits and stuff. So you can talk to your coach. She will give you a very individualistic approach. Muesli with milk, definitely not a great choice because muesli again is a processed product. A lot of like added sweetness will be present in the muesli. There will be a lot of like artificial flavoring agents as well. And milk is a carbohydrate because of lactose in it. So be careful. If you are on a keto diet, then definitely muesli with milk cannot be a choice. What about sweet potato? Mrs. Chitra Reddy has asked. Again, keto diet में these kind of foods which you are mentioning like potato, sweet potato, muesli, all these things might not be very friendly in keto diet. So sweet potato has good insoluble fiber in it. So it is good to be included in a salad form in a small portion or as a carbohydrate section you are including in your meal. That is okay. But keto diet में अगर आप sweet potato या potato include करेंगे, then the carbohydrate value will go really high. So overnight oats with a little bit of mango is okay. Again, overnight soaked oats, अगर आप yogurt में with chia seeds you're soaking and morning you're including a small portion of mango along with other things like cucumber, carrot भी आप डाल रहे हैं. उसके साथ a small like 50 grams of mango you're including. I don't think so that's a concern. It all depends on how are your sugar values. अगर आपका sugar values normal range में है, then you are eating 100 grams of like mango. I don't think so that's a major concern. It's okay to include. So what are the side effects of keto diet, Mr. Ravindra Kumar? I think I did explain to you. So there might be risk of hypoglycemia coming into picture. It is not sustainable on a long period of time. There might be nutrient deficiencies because you are restricting a lot of food, right? So ऐसे side effects हो सकते हैं. But then if you are being particular that, okay, एक हफ्ता, 2 हफ्ता या फिर 1 month you are following just to reduce some, might be 3 kilos of weight or 4 kilos of weight and then coming back gradually shifting to normal diet or a diabetic diet, then there won't be like a long-term health hazards which will come into picture. Might be side effects will be for a very short period of time. Uyala ji, keto diet chart will be shared in the present, whatever I presented to you, sample meal plan that will be there in the recording or the presentation will be shared on the YouTube channel. I shared the YouTube channel on the chat. So I'm sharing once again on this YouTube channel, all the recordings will be available.